Oh, I'm admitting everyone? Okay.
No. I'm doing that. Whenever you give me the go ahead and you feel like you want to go ahead and start admitting everybody in, then we can.
Yeah.
Are you okay with, so I'm visual with you, but once the presentation starts, I'm going to go ahead and cut my video, but I will be present.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Just, I'm here listening.
I'm ready.
So whenever you're ready.
Yeah. I mean, well, I won't start technically till 2:30. I mean, I'm in Atlanta, that's why. But
Okay.
I won't start till 11:30. But you can let them in.
Okay. Sounds good. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. We'll get started in about 3 minutes, just to give everyone a chance to get in. Thank you guys for coming. By the way, I don't know if you guys got my email, but I did email you to suggest that you use either, unless you're good at splitting the screen. If you have a second device, it might be better to be looking at another device to hear me speak and to see what I'm doing, and then for you to actually engage with your digital portfolio on your own laptop, if you can. If not, if you just want to take notes, that's totally fine too. About 2 more minutes. I'm excited too, Lisa. You guys this is game changer. Good morning, everyone. It's actually afternoon where I'm at because I transferred from Chino Valley Unified School District, and now I'm in Atlanta Public Schools. Big change from one coast to the other. So we have one more minute and then I'll get into all those details. Hope you guys are ready to really get in there and get engaged, because this is a very interactive session that I want you guys to engage in. So, okay, it is 2:30 here, 11:30 where you're at. I'm in Atlanta. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be doing a lot of back and forth between the presentation and whatnot. So here we go. Welcome to, once it loads, ongoing digital portfolios using Google Slides. My full name is Ayo Dele, but everyone calls me Ayo, first 3 letters. And I am a 6th grade teacher at Howard Middle School in Atlanta, Georgia. I just transferred. I just drove across country and moved from Chino Valley. So that was an adventure for sure. Oh, wait. Okay. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Walnut, California. Then went to Walnut High School. That's over there by Diamond Bar, if you guys are not sure of that area. Then I went to Cal State Fullerton, got my undergrad in, first I went into business, and then I went into math, and then I decided to switch to child and adolescent development, and with the emphasis in elementary teaching. It was at Cal State Fullerton where I found the company that I grew up with called Think Together. I'm sure a lot of you have Think Together sites at your school. And it is a nonprofit organization that I worked for, and I became a supervisor And I basically grew up with that company. That's where I learned all the tricks of the trade. Then I went to pursue my master's and my teaching credentials from Azusa Pacific, and I have my master's in educational technology. Then I went and got my first job in 29 Palms. I relocated and taught there for 2 years, and got my credential cleared and came back to Chino Valley where they were hiring in 2014. I started working for Chino Valley then at that time. And it's always been a dream of mine to travel and teach overseas. But with everything that happened this year, those plans kind of changed. So now I decided to move to Atlanta, Georgia, and that's where I live now. And here we are. So that's just me. Okay, if you guys go to the top of your Zoom screen, next to the green bar, it should, if you put it into full screen, it should already have the option to annotate. So I just want to know, just so I can easily navigate through this session, what grade level do you guys teach? Go ahead and place a stamp on or near the grade level that best describes your position for the upcoming school year. I like the green circle. Awesome. Nice. Some middle school grades. They have some firsties. Nice. I love it. Pre-K. Oh, wow. Pre-K. Awesome. Those of you that said other, do you mind putting in the chat what that other is that I did not include? Oh, we have everyone all over the place. Wow, we have all grade levels. That's awesome. 8th grade science. Nice. I'll be teaching 6th grade science, so maybe we can connect because I've never taught science all day long. Okay. All right, guys, awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next slide. Now I know I have people from all grade levels. Go ahead and, wait, do I have the ability to erase the annotations? If you guys could delete your, yeah, thank you, perfect. Okay, describe your comfort level with Google Slides. So place a stamp on or near the level of expertise that best suits your knowledge of Google Slides. That way I know when we're working how fast or slow I need to go. All right, Stephanie, you're a pro. Maybe you can help answer some questions in the chat. Awesome. Okay. Oh, Cassandra's here. Hi, Cassandra. All right. Okay, so that's good. It looks like we have mostly beginner and intermediate, so that'll be perfect. Okay, here we go. So this is just a quote that I want to share with you all. I'm sure you've heard it before. I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. And ongoing digital portfolios is a lot of doing. The students do it all. It's very, very, very little work from the teacher, except if you want to teach them how to create a template or something like that. But it's mostly students doing everything. Okay. So this is how today's activities are going to go. First, we're going to learn how to access Google Slides and create. If you guys don't mind taking off your annotations, that would be great. We're going to learn how to access Google Slides and create a template for all students. Then we're going to learn how to assign the digital portfolios once and access student portfolios at any time. Then we're going to learn how to create an interactive table of contents. This is where it starts getting really technical, okay, in the digital portfolios. And then we're going to learn how to embed videos into Google Slides, which is pretty basic. If you already know how to do that, it'll be really easy for you. And then we're going to attach, oh, Alexa's talking to me, sorry. Okay, attach different things to the Google Slides, okay? All right, so without further ado, by the way, if you have access to these slides, I have attached each and every video on on the next about 5 slides. So after this session, you can actually go back and re-listen to everything at your pace so that it's all there for you. Because I remember from my last session that I taught this at, a lot of people needed a lot of go back and repeat and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So if you have your Google Suite open, let's go ahead and go to go to your Google Classroom, and we are going to, I'm sorry, hold on one second. My thing is blocking. Okay. I'm gonna go to my Google Suite, and then make sure you're logged into your educator's account, okay? And I'm gonna go over here and go to Google Slides. When you first log into Google Slides, you'll see this. This seems like these are the only templates that you have to choose from for your digital portfolios for the students, but that is not the case. I highly recommend that you choose something basic, but if you want it to be more, you know, in depth, then you can just open the template gallery and find all the templates here. Some of you may not be able to see all these different templates, and that may be because you have not selected either your school district or general, okay? Make sure one of those is selected.
On the counter.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work with the lookbook template because that is the easiest for us to work with, okay? So go ahead and double click on the lookbook template if you have it. If you don't have a lookbook template, that's okay. Just pick any template that's just kind of basic and has a few different themes involved in it. Okay, so before I begin, I just want you to know that there should be 2 different templates that you create for your students. One is the sample that you're gonna show them, so like your sample that has stuff that you do on it. And then the other one is gonna be just a template that you're going to push out to them so that they can annotate, design, and add text to, if that makes sense, okay? Before I begin, actually, let me show you guys an example of a student's digital portfolio. What happened was when I transferred over to Atlanta Public Schools, obviously Chino Valley dismantled my access to my Google Suite where all my beautiful digital portfolios were of my students. So I was only able to get access to one. So if you just give me about maybe 1 minute and I'll be right back. I'm gonna find a copy of that digital portfolio because it deleted from my Google browser. I'm still here, just finding it. Pause my screen for a second. I can sign into my email. Okay, for some reason I'm not finding it, so I don't want to waste too much time, but I will try to. It was already here and ready, and for some reason it's not in the browser anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So first things first, as always, you want to name your file. You want to name it OnGoing Digital Portfolio. And for those of you that are newer to Google Slides, just remember that whatever you name it, it will automatically attach each student's name to the front of this title. Okay, so OnGoing Digital Portfolio. Okay, now everything that I'm gonna do for the next hour or so is a suggestion. The sky is the limit when it comes to digital portfolios. Nancy, my moderator, is there a way for me to erase the annotations that are on the share screen? Or maybe I should just stop share and then share again. 1 second, because I want you guys to be able to see it clearly. Okay, now it's clear. Okay, so one thing I tell my students is anything that you see on the Google slide that is grayed out or the text is gray, that means I want you to fill it in. Whoops, I did the highlight, my bad. Okay, so I want anything, if I select this text and I make it gray, text color, there we go. Okay, that means I want them to replace that text, okay? That's just the universal rule for me and my students. Maybe you can make it another color, okay? So I'll put first, last, and number, for example, okay? So they know that they have to change it to match their first and last name, okay? And then we will put here, obviously, ongoing digital portfolio. All right, and whenever you want to add another text box, but you want it to be just similar to the text box you just made, all you need to do is make sure your cursor turns into that four-sided arrow. Click on the blue rim. Okay, hit edit, copy, and edit paste. Or for you techie people, you guys know Control C and Control V. All right, and I'm just going to put the school year to 2020 to 2021. So it'll say, for example, Josh Rieger, ongoing digital portfolio 2020 to 2021. That's our former vice principal. Okay. The next page is going to be their table of contents. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, it's going to be their table of contents. However, I don't necessarily want their table of contents to have this layout right here. So I'm going to look for something that's more table of contentsy, and which I like slide number 7. So as you can see, I'm highlighting slide number 7 by clicking on it. Okay, but I want to save this template to use for other assignments or other things that I might need in the digital portfolio, because literally the portfolios last all year long if you want. My students, we do them all year long. So I'm going to make sure the slide that I like is selected. I'm going to edit, copy, and then edit, paste. Okay, and it makes a copy right then and there. For you techie people that already know the shortcut, make sure it's highlighted. You can just hit Control C and Control V, okay? It's okay if you have a lot of extras. It can just be saved for a later date. So I'm bringing this back up to slide number 2 because I want my table of contents to be the second slide here, okay? And I'm gonna just go ahead and change this text to table of contents. All right, and obviously this is not about skateboarding, so just select the pictures that they put on there, make sure there's a blue rim around it, and go ahead and delete it. Okay, are there any questions that I should take note of right now? I'm gonna try to see. How did I find lookbook? So were you able to, Mackenzie, were you able to find lookbook by going to the template gallery? I'm not sure if your school district allows that, but most school districts do allow the template gallery. Okay. So, okay, if you don't have access to lookbook, just use a plain template for Google Slides, and you can just insert a text box. Let me show you guys how to insert a text box, okay? I'll show you real quick. And you know what, Mrs. R, it's kind of difficult. I have not found a way to lock any parts of the digital portfolio, because that is a feature that I would love to know how to do, but I don't believe, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe Google has that option yet. All right, so if you do not have the lookbook template and you want to know how to get this look, okay, just go ahead and add a blank slide, okay? You can add a blank slide. If you click on this little plus button over here, it has many different options of templates for you to add, okay? And you're gonna add a blank slide. Then you're gonna go here. There's so many different ways to do everything. So one way is to, if you hover over this, it says text box. That's a text box add button. Insert, you can go to insert text box and then draw it like that. And then type in table of contents or whatever you want to type in, okay? Select it all by pressing Control A or Command A if you have a Mac, okay? Or you can just highlight it with the mouse. And you can come over here, change the highlight color to the same blue, the little aqua color that I have over here, and then change the font if you'd like. Actually like this font, Chelsea Market. You can add fonts on Google Suite if you didn't know that. Okay, so that's another way to add a text box. Okay, so here we have table of contents. Now, for, you know, slightly older kids, or maybe not, maybe the kinders and the firsties know how to access, you know, different pictures of themselves or whatnot. But you can add in as much or as little pictures or designs as you want. Okay, I guess I should show you my digital portfolio first. So this is my sample digital portfolio from the teacher, and here's my sample table of contents, okay? So this is kind of what we're trying to achieve here, okay? So if we go back to our blank template right now, okay, we're here. You can insert a picture, okay? Insert an image, upload from your computer or search on the web, okay? And the web is already filtered to have photos that are free enough for you to add to your digital portfolio. If you know about Google Chrome extensions, there is a Bitmoji extension that you literally just Google Bitmoji extension for Chrome, and it adds this little Bitmoji option here at the top of your browser, okay? You can add in any picture you like by right-clicking and copying the image and then pasting it to your digital portfolio. And there you go. There is a picture on your table of contents, okay? I'm gonna drag this over just a bit because I wanna have space for the actual items that are gonna be on my digital portfolio. I'm sorry, on my table of contents, okay? So here, I'm going to start with, obviously we don't speak this language, but let's just add, what I tell the kids is I need to see all the subject headings on your table of contents to start, okay? There's so many ways to do this. I can keep all these other text boxes, but for simplicity's sake, let's just keep one for now. Okay, so let's start with language arts, for example. And if you teach any other subjects like PE, or if you're an admin, you know, the sky's the limit. It doesn't have to be the school subjects, okay? Language arts, and I actually want the same text. Let's see, math, science, and history. Now, the reason why I want you to add all these four is because we're going to, a little bit down the line, we're going to create an interactive table of contents where you can click each word and it takes you to those slides. Very, very cool. One of my favorite things. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, I'm selecting the entire box. You can either select it here on the rim, or you can highlight the words. And I'm just going over here to increasing the font size to make it more appealing and bold, okay, for the audience. This is gray. These words are gray, which I don't necessarily like. And plus, remember, gray means, for my students, means that they need to change it. So I'm gonna change this to, we'll just make it blue for now. And here's the thing, the students, depending on your requirements, the students have free range for designs. As long as the content is applicable to what you're requiring as their teacher. I've had some kids do, flower themes. I've had kids do neon colors. I've even had kids change every letter to the different color of the rainbow, all on their own time, of course. But, the sky's the limit when it comes to that. Okay, so that's the table of contents, okay? And that's how we create it. The next thing that we're going to create, oh, I did want to mention, sorry, I know this is a little out of order, but hopefully you're following along. I wanted to mention that depending on the age level you work with, because I know we have some high school teachers in here and we have some middle school teachers and some upper elementary, okay? You can take this template and make it as plain as you want. For me, I actually taught a technology course on Wednesdays to our entire 6th grade. So what I did was I made the template very, very plain. I didn't even have a table of contents. So during our technology sessions, they learned formatting. They learned Google Slides formatting, word processing. That's what the word I was looking for, word processing. They learned that through our sessions. So they didn't have all this. Now, if you have younger kids or kids that maybe are not capable or don't have the digital skills yet, then maybe you want to make your template a little more in depth. Okay. So the way I'm teaching the session is a little more in depth instead of just leaving it blank and teaching the kids how to go about it. The choice is totally up to you. Okay. So for I would say for 5th grade and on, I wouldn't keep it very, very detailed. I would just leave it plain and use those moments to teach them formatting styles. Okay, so that's that. The second page is going to be their All About Me. The All About Me, if I can show you mine, okay, the All About Me page looks like this. Okay, I made one for you guys for a sample. And my rule for the All About Me page is I don't want to see any words from you. You're only allowed to put the title, All About Me, and quotes. Quotes are the only kind of words you can have on the page because, you can use this as a getting to know you, you have your students in breakout rooms and they have to share their screen and then they have to infer something about that person after they've built their All About Me. So as you can see, I have a ton of my friends, family, kids, goddaughters and stuff that are in my life and things that I like. Okay, you can tell that I work out, I like hot Cheetos, okay, and I love sunflowers, my favorite flower, and things like that. Okay, so that's just a suggestion. That's one assignment suggestion. If you stay all the way to the end, I'm going to give you a bunch of different other assignment suggestions. Okay, so that is the All About Me page. All right, so let me make sure I'm staying on track here before we get off. Okay, so learn how to access. Okay, so we're going to create a template. All right, so let's continue creating our template. And right now we got table of contents, so it's All About Me. So if you want to give your students a All About Me template, then just find a slide that you like. Sorry, I know I'm going fast sometimes, but I forget. Find a template that you like. I like this one, and I'm going to copy and paste it. Remember, copy and paste it to make sure that you have, let me select it. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay, I'm gonna drag that back down because I don't need the second copy anymore. Okay, this is a template for All About Me. Now, you can, remember, you can delete any pictures that they add on there. So if you didn't see that, I just selected that picture and deleted it. Okay, I'm gonna bring this box to the top so that the kids can easily see it. This is their All About Me page. All right, and one thing you always wanna do on Google Slides is drag that text box in so that it hugs the title a little better. All right, because then it'll interfere with other items that you add on that page. Okay, now sometimes you may want to give them some rules, and that's totally fine. So I'm gonna go over here to this text box icon, and I'm gonna add a text box. Okay, now I'm gonna gray this out because I actually want them to delete this later. Delete later, but these are the rules. no photos, let's be positive. Photos and quotations only. Okay, and there you have it. Perfect. Okay, so we have our table of contents, our All About Me page. Wait, where'd it go? Did I lose it? Oh, it's down here, I'm sorry. Let me drag this back up. Okay, our All About Me page, and then we want to create the actual subject headings, okay? So for me, remember, you can do it however you'd like, but for me, the way I usually do it is I always tell the kids, each subject heading should be its own slide. It's almost as if it's like a book cover to a new chapter, okay? Like you're being introduced to the language arts section. I don't need any assignments, any content on these slides. These are just kind of like the title pages. I like to use these, as you can see over here. I'll show you mine. Okay, I have my table of contents, I have my All About Me, and then I have my first subject heading, which is language arts. It's nice and bold, and just imagine the teacher having to come back and grade something within their language arts assignments. You can easily scroll and see language arts in the thumbnails. You can't miss it, okay? And then mathematics is right after. So that's what we're gonna do. So in order to do that, I'm going to take this template first, and I'm going to drag it up to where I want it. Oh, after the About Me. Okay. Now notice on my sample, I dragged out this white box just for visual sake. Okay. When you double click inside these boxes, then you can change the text to however you want. I'm gonna do 100 size font, okay? And I'm gonna change that to language arts, okay? All right, now, here's the cool part. I don't wanna have to do that reformatting again and again and again. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to select this thumbnail, slide 4, and I'm going to copy and paste it so that the format is already there. I just have to change the words for all the other subjects. Okay, so let's edit, copy, and edit, paste. Okay, and if you're newer to Google Slides, I want to challenge you. Make sure your slide is selected, and I want you to go to your keyboard and click and hold down Control or Command if you have a Mac, and then tap the C button. I'm sorry, the letter C, okay? That magically copies it. Then go back to your keyboard, Control again, and hit the V as in Victor this time, and paste it. And it'll paste it like that, and you can do it as many times as you want. We're gonna have 5 altogether. The first one's language arts. Come back up to the second one, which for me is slide 5, okay? And change it to math. Okay, now if you're a junior high or a high school teacher, you might want different subcategories or standards that you teach. Maybe for math, it's number sense versus probability and, ratios and rates and stuff like that. So remember, everything is changeable, and you don't have to stick to my way of doing things. Okay, then I'm gonna have science. Okay, and then I'm going to have history. And for anyone really, I really like to have another place called extracurricular, where kids can put things like field trips, pictures from field trips, or even assignments from field trips that they've done. And that way they can store other extra things in there, okay? Or elective classes or whatnot. Okay, we're heading in a good direction. Okay, so now we have all our subject titles, okay? And we have our table of contents. The only thing missing from the table of contents is the About Me. So I'm gonna come up here to the text box, double click inside. Whoops, Control Z to get back what you lost. Okay, and I'm gonna put all about me. Okay, now this is language arts and math and all the other subjects, but there's no space for the kids to actually have blank slides to start with. So we want them to start with some blank slides. So let's come back down and find something blank enough to help us, to help get the kids started on their template. So if you look at mine, the one that I've already created for you, I have about 2 blank slides under each subject heading, okay? This just creates a space for them to already have something blank, a blank canvas basically for them to work off of. So I like this template right here, okay? And again, I'm going to Control C, Control V, copy, okay? And here's another trick, okay? If you're in the thumbnail section and you hold down Control or Command if you have a Mac, okay? I already have slide 11 clicked. I want to also select slide 10. If you hold down the Control button while you select, you can select as many different slides as you want, okay? Now that they're both selected, I'm going to hold and drag them, and keep dragging, okay, up to language arts. Perfect. That's where I want them, okay? Now I'm going to change the typing in each one, sorry. And let's just for simplicity's sake, we're gonna call this language arts assignment number 1, okay? And the next one we're gonna call language arts assignment, assignment number 2, okay? And under there, I'm just gonna delete the text underneath it and put insert text here, okay? And do the same thing for the first one. Insert text here. Okay, I'm going to go back to my thumbnails, okay? And I'm going to select both slides by holding the Control or Command button. And now that I like how they're formatted, this is just very basic. The kids are gonna take this to the, sky and above. I'm going to come up to Edit, Copy, and Edit. Actually, no, wait, I'm sorry. Actually, after you edit, copy, okay, or Control C, I'm gonna select the mathematics slide. And the reason for this is because whatever thumbnail that is selected, when I hit paste, when I hit edit paste, or if I do Control V, it's going to paste it underneath that slide that's selected, always. That's always the truth, okay? So I'm gonna hit Control V and watch what happens. Boom, there it goes. It pasted it under the mathematics assignment. Now, this is not language arts, so I'm gonna change this to math, okay? And I'm gonna change this one to math as well. Okay, all right, so there's so many different things that the kids can pour into these slides. You can do assignments, you can do kind of like keeping track of their volunteer hours if they're older and they have to do that, or all the things that they've done in class this year. And just imagine a virtual open house where you can literally shoot this out to parents and they can interact with their digital portfolio they're learning from all year long. Okay, now let's go on to the next part, which is to create an interactive table of contents. All right, so I want the About Me to connect to my All About Me page. Here's where it gets fun. So what you're gonna do is come over here on your table of contents, and I only want you to select the words that you want to navigate you to the All About Me page, okay? So here I'm going to select All About Me. Those are the only words I want to be able to link to that page. Once I select those words or that phrase, you could even do one word or the whole paragraph, but I just want those words. There's this icon right here. And it looks like a chain link, okay? And when you mouse over it, it says insert link. That's one way. you want to insert, you can also go over here and click insert and find link, which is right here, insert link. I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way, but you have to make sure that the words that you want are selected. Okay, so this is the text. When it says text, that means this is a text that's going to be displayed for that link. And I want to link it to slides in this presentation. Notice it says slides in this presentation. You can link it to a website too. You can type in the website. We're gonna do that in a minute. So I wanna link it to slides in this presentation. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the slides in this presentation, and then I want it to link to slide number 3. Usually it would say all about me here, but for some reason it doesn't. So I know that right after my table of contents, slide number 3 right here is my all about me. So I'm gonna select slide number 3. Make sure you hit apply or else it won't work. Okay, hit apply, and look, it changed to red. Now, some of you may love that red text and underline, but to me, it doesn't really make it look very, professionally done. So if you look at my original example, my table of contents, you don't see any underlined words. However, oops, sorry, all this stuff. If I present this sample portfolio, watch this. When I hover over my all about me, oh my gosh, okay, my mouse changes. Notice that, okay? That means it's clickable. So you don't have to have an underline just for something to be clickable, okay? I have a couple other clickable, yeah, right here, the mathematics, okay? These are clickable. When the mouse changes to a hand, you know it's clickable, okay? So if I click here on my all about me, it takes me to my all about me page. Perfect, right? So let's go back to the sample that we're doing. So I'm going to highlight it. Do not, after you've inserted the link, okay? After you've inserted the link, do not delete any letters or the phrase, because as soon as you delete one thing, even if I deleted that exclamation mark, it would deactivate the link. The link will no longer work, and a lot of kids had a lot of issues with that. So keep that in mind, okay? So keep it all the same. You're just gonna highlight it, and I'm gonna come over here and underline, okay? So select that underline button because it was selected, and look, the underline is gone, okay? I could even, I can even change it back, okay? Remember, don't delete, to blue if I want, okay? Let's make it aqua for now, just to, oh no, never mind, that's too dark. I mean, too light. Okay, let's make it a different color just so you know. Now, when I put my mouse over it, here, when you click inside, you put your mouse over it, or you click once inside, it should tell you what it's linked to. It's telling you this phrase is linked to slide 3. It's really fun and a sure way to just seal the deal and know that it goes where you want it. By presenting, I always tell the kids, just test it out by presenting it, okay? And then clicking on that phrase and make sure it takes you to your All About Me page. And it definitely did. Okay, all right, let's see, I'm gonna stop. Can teachers edit or make changes for students once? Each student has their own. Yes, actually, Sahar, you can make changes. I will show you that when we assign it to each student, but you can't make a change that will go to all the students at one time. You can make changes on individual, but once we shoot out this template, that's the only time that you can make changes to all students' copies at the same time, okay? No problem. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going, and then I'm gonna stay at the end. If you guys have any more questions, I'll stay a little later, or I'll be available through email. All right, so where were we? So we linked that to our All About Me slide, so that's interactive. Okay, now let's do one more. I hope a lot of you are working with me and doing this at the same time. Let's do the language arts slide. Okay, so we're going to highlight the word language arts, okay? And I kind of want you to, I'm going a little slow because I want you to be like, oh yeah, I go here before I do it. Okay, so I'm gonna insert a link. I'm gonna do it this way this time. Insert a link. There's also another way for those of you that can handle. Okay, if you right click on top of the phrase, you can just click the link button in the options. Okay, I'm gonna link it to slides in this presentation. And look, slide 4, language arts right there. Okay, apply, and there goes my favorite, not favorite, underline red color. We'll leave it red this time. All right, so once I click inside, just to double check, it is on language arts, and I'm gonna present it just for good measure. And look, my cursor changes when I go over language arts, and there it is, language arts. Now, on this slide, on the title slides, I tell the kids, you can insert pictures on these slides, but this is just like the introduction slide. Your real work comes in the pages after that. So some kids figure it out, and they'll insert, you know, little Bitmojis of themselves or whatever on their page. So I'll put writing. Whoops, come on. What are you doing? Writing, for example, has a lot to do with language arts. So they'll copy and paste their image on there. And that's like a little introduction to their language arts pages, or language arts work. Okay. All right. Next things next. I'm actually going to put this in the center because of what we're about to do. Now, let's pretend you are a fabulous teacher, because all of you are, right? And you have the superintendent of your school district coming in to observe your students, okay? And they just happen to be working on their digital portfolio. And the superintendent says, do you mind if I take a look at your digital portfolio? Student says, sure. And superintendent is way down here in some extracurricular or history assignment, and he's reading a long essay. But he or she wants to get back to the table of contents easily. Well, you don't want them to have to just, you know, click up and up and up and up and forever to get back to table of contents. We want to make each page accessible back to the table of contents in one click. So how do we do that? We're going to add a home button or a back button on every single page, and I'm going to show you how to do that very, very easily. Okay, so we're going to, remember, you can link anything. You don't have to it's not just words that you can link. You can link an image. I can link this picture right here of my little Bitmoji. You can link whatever you want to. So I tell the kids, I want your home button or your back button to be very obvious to the viewer of your digital portfolio. So I want you to insert an image from the web. Okay, so I want all of you guys to do that if you're doing it with me. Insert an image from the web, okay? And the way you search is very, very important to get you what you want. You don't want an image with a white background, because then it's going to, if let's say your page is blue, it's going to create a white box. So we're gonna search, you can search for a back arrow or a house. I like to search for a house icon. When you add the word icon, it makes it gives you the black and white images first, so that they're, you know, just so it's universal and simple. Now, when you add the letters PNG behind anything that you search, it makes the background transparent so that it won't interfere with anything else on the page. Okay, so house icon, PNG, okay, and a bunch of these icons come up. Very cool. Just gonna use a simple one. Okay, select the one that you want, insert it. Okay, actually, I'm going to, let's go to the all about me, because we don't need a back button for the table of contents, we're already there. So let's do that one more time. I'm gonna insert an image from the web. Oh, it's already still there. Okay, click that home button, insert it. Awesome, it's right there. Now I'm going to shrink it down to size. Now they can put this at the top right corner, top left, any of the 4 corners is a good suggestion, I say. Okay, now make sure it's selected, which it is. Oops, don't double click, just click once. And then come over here to the link, insert link. I'm gonna insert the link, and it is gonna go to the table of contents, right? So we're gonna open up slides in this presentation. Sorry that it's so low on my screen. And we want it to go, remember, make sure they don't just select next slide, previous slide. That's not okay. They actually, I wish they didn't even have those options. we want it to link to slide 2, table of contents, okay? And make sure you hit apply. Now, test it, okay? Click on it. Oh, we can't see it there, it's under there. So let's go ahead and present it and click on that home button and it should take me right back to table of contents. There it is. Here's where the magic comes in. Now, I have this on All About Me page. I just need to select it one time, go up here, edit, copy, okay? Go to the next slide, and guess what? Edit, paste. And I'm gonna drag it up a little bit just so you can see. The link is connected already. So you don't need to re-link it. You don't need to re-link, okay? So then I'm gonna go here to the next slide and control paste, it's there. Next slide, so whenever they add a new slide, guess what? They need to also copy and paste their home button. So now superintendent is way down here at science, okay? And obviously this is a title page, but that's okay. It should be on the title pages too. And they are reading their science experiments and whatnot, and they go here. Oh, I'm back to the table of contents, that easy. Okay, so sky's the limit, right? So let me show you here. How much time do I have? 5 minutes? I think I have like 10 minutes, good. I wanna show you mine, and we're going to do this. So one assignment that I did with my 6th graders because I taught a block of ELA, is that we were learning about abstract nouns. And so I used a short film, a Disney short film that had no script, no words, just music and sound effects. None of the characters in the movie said any words. The kids were supposed to come up with a script kind of to describe, using abstract nouns to describe what was going on in that scene. So they wrote their, first we did the, we do, I do, we do in class, where we watched the video in class on the screen. Then they had a homework assignment with another video that they were supposed to write about. And they did it on, I sent them the video and they did their assignment on their digital portfolios. However, as I'm reading them, I'm thinking to myself, well, if I'm a superintendent, how do I know what video this is attached to, right? So we want to embed the videos onto the slides that they're working on, okay? And when I say embed, it's different from link, because you can easily go to YouTube and copy and paste a link onto a page, but we want to see the video on the actual slide, because guess what? When it's being presented, okay, the person reading it can just click play and watch it right here on the slide, instead of having to be redirected to a web page outside of the portfolio. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that on our template. Remember, this is your template. This is not the template that you're giving them. Some of these skills you want them to do or do together as a class. So this is just your sample. Okay, I highly recommend you create a less filled template to shoot out to the kids. Okay, so let's do it on the language arts, first one. So to insert a video, or to embed a video, make sure you have the video already selected, and I will put this link in the chat so that people can get it easily. Okay, so grab this link real quick. Cute little video, you guys should watch it. All right, and we're going to insert a video. Okay, insert video. All right, insert a video. Now the default is YouTube. They assume that you're getting a video from YouTube, but if you already have a video on your Google Drive, then you can put it here. If you have a video on your computer, you need to first upload it to Google Drive. Okay, so I'm gonna paste here the URL. I'm gonna search for it. There it is, excuse me. And I'm going to select it and watch the magic. There it is. That's how easy it is. Okay, so now it's there, the video's there, and their assignment goes here. Okay, now because of time's sake, I'm going to kind of switch gears, and let's show you how to now push this out to the students in your Google Classroom. So in order to do that, we're going to go over here to Google Classroom. Okay, so you're in your Google Classroom and you're going to go over here to classwork. And this is the one that I already did make, but let me delete it so that I can do it again so you won't get confused. Okay, so I'm going to create an assignment. Okay, got it. And I'm going to title it Ongoing Digital Portfolios, or portfolio, because it's going to have one per student. I would personally not add instructions, because today you might be doing a word wall, a digital word wall. Tomorrow you might be doing vocabulary. The next day you might be doing a science experiment. The next day, okay? So it's a bunch of different things. But I'm going to add, what do you think? I'm gonna click the add button and I'm gonna go to my Google Drive. I'm gonna add the portfolio that we just created, which is gonna be the first one there because it's the last one we made. So I'm gonna make sure it's selected and click insert. Now here is key, okay? Students can view the file, yes, but you want students to be able to have their own copy. If you don't do this part right now, you would have to delete this and do it all, the whole assigning all over again. So we're gonna click here where it says students can view file to make a copy for each student. Okay, make a copy for each student. That is key. Now, here it should be pretty standard. All students, points, if you want, you don't have to have points. Topic, if you want to create a topic, actually I already have a topic, technology. Okay, I'm gonna put it under that, and that's it. You can assign it now, or you can schedule an assignment by clicking this little caret. I remember calling it a caret, but it's really just a triangle, and scheduling it for a later date, okay, if you want to be ready ahead of time. So I click assign, made a copy for each student, and might take a little bit. And there it is, okay? And this is how you can view, and for those of you who asked me how to edit different things on different kids' portfolios, you can view them here. You click on the assignment, you click on this number 2, assigned, okay? And now you can see that it's been assigned to these 2 people, okay? Now, I don't know why it's not showing up, but it should, oh, there it is, okay. So, all students. Usually it shows the portfolios right here, but either way, let me show you another way to get to it. So in my Google Drive, if you go to your Google Drive, okay, and you open up the My Drive, then you open up Classroom, okay, and then you open up Google Camp Class. This is just a sample class. And you click on Ongoing Digital Portfolios. Now you can see everyone's in order by first name, and you can double click on that student's portfolio, okay? And then you can interact with them, you can leave comments, okay? You can attach grades, you can do whatever you want, and it'll be right there, okay? I believe we don't have that much time left. So, oh, we missed how to embed the video on the slide. Okay, so before we end, because I know we only have a few minutes left, I know that this always, I mean, the last time we really ran out of time. So if you guys would really like to, you know, spend some more time with me today to get in depth into into template making and other things involving the digital portfolios, then I will make myself available. I do have a survey for you to fill out. Heather, the presentation was not pre-recorded, but on these slides, I have all the videos of everything that we did today for you to go ahead and access, and that way it is there. My Twitter, I don't use Twitter very much. I'm more of an Instagram girl. So I'll put my Instagram is at my little middles. Okay, my Twitter is, I think it's this. Okay, and if you guys don't mind, please fill out this survey. Let me get the link for you, and that way I can come back later today and we can go deeper into everything. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it, and maybe I'll see you guys later. Oh, you need permission for the survey. Okay, let me do that. Edit. It's not allowing me to. Preferences, there we go. Nancy, are you there? I don't know why my survey is not allowing you guys to hit it. Is anyone else able to get into the survey? Nope. Oh, geez. Anyone know how to? That's weird. I've never had this issue. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Now refresh the page. It should be working now. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Carly. Am I going to give access to the assignment options? Yes. You know what? I will email all the participants with those assignment suggestions. And did you add this to your schedule, Joanna? Or Jonna, sorry? Okay, perfect. So I'll send you the email with all that, with all those suggestions in there. You're welcome. Oh, there are so many questions. I'm not sure what time this session ends. Let me text the moderator. Okay, guys, I'm going to go to the lunchtime keynote. If you guys have any questions or whatnot, you can email me. I will put my email in the chat. I will also send it through that other email that I'm going to build also. Have a great Wednesday. See you guys later.